Gamers are blessed to have access to thousands of games literally anytime they want. With the influx of games, however, comes oversaturation of game mechanics and most disappointing of all, the normalization of abusive monetization tactics. Some developers, therefore, made it their mission in life to provide new gaming experiences that prioritizes the players instead of taking advantage of them. Hi guys, this is Gwen, and let's analyze Sky, Children of the Light by That Game Company. Like that's the name, That Game Company. The company was started by two USC students in 2006, Genova Chen and Kelly Santiago. They scored a tie-up with Sony Interactive Entertainment for a 3-game deal for their flagship console, which was the PS3 back then. They eventually released Flow, Flower, and most important of all, Journey, the game that catapulted them to indie royalty status. Journey was released for the PS3 on March 13, 2012. It was such a hit that it won lots of awards, including many Game of the Year awards. It was even nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Score Soundtrack, a first for a music specifically made for a video game, thanks to Austin Wintory, the game's music composer. With their 3 releases, the company is ultimately known for releasing games that are focused on player experience. Chen said that one of the ways to create a valuable game is to invoke emotions or by touching someone. Fast forward to 7 years later and free from the Sony deal, the company has released its newest game last year, which is Sky, Children of the Light, exclusive to the iOS platform but is now open for pre-registration in Android. Sky has all the visual aesthetics and gameplay that the company is known for. One look and familiar players can already tell that it is from the same company that made Journey. Instead of integrating social elements into the game like in Journey, Sky Children of the Light takes advantage of mobile connectivity and is a full-blown MMO, albeit uniquely so. The goal is to free spirits from their slumber, which turns them into constellations that the player needs to complete in order to get emotes and cosmetic items. It is as much a personal journey as a multiplayer experience, as some puzzles require players to help one another, like a cave that needs to be lit up by 2 people at the same time. Of course, the game still implements familiar game elements. As with MMOs, everyone has access to the same few sets of cosmetic items at the start of the game. As such, the game appeals to the human nature of wanting to be unique. Players would want to change their look for different reasons, ranging from personal expression of creativity to boosting their own game progression. Cosmetic options are tied with progression, as players need to complete constellations which are like mini goal maps with cosmetic items as the goals. Emotes, also another common MMO element, are also included as goals for progression. Cosmetics and emotes are where the monetization mainly comes in. There are 2 currencies in-game: candles and hearts. Players can buy candles directly through IAP with the price range of $26 to $33 per 100 candles. These candles can then directly purchase emotes. The other currency, hearts, can only be received from other players when you deepen each other's bonds. However, this can only be done by unlocking the gifting option, also done through candles. Hearts are more premium than candles, as these are the only currency that can buy cosmetic items. There is also a seasonal pass that increases the rewards and gives out additional benefits and content. This can only be purchased at a limited time. The pass sells at $9.99 for an individual pass and a big discount of $14.99 for 1 player and 2 friends. That is basically just $5 per person, basically cutting down the price to half. Now you might think, a dual currency model plus a seasonal pass? Aren't that red flags? Well, unlike other games that incorporate this subscription-based monetization, non-subscribers are not omitted out of main game features, so none of them are quote-unquote VIP exclusive. Admittedly, doing IAP takes the player further into the game faster and easier, but there is no solid barrier between paying and non-paying players. This makes the game popular among its players, a contrast to the barrage of negative publicity that some major game publishers get flack for because of aggressive and manipulative microtransactions and loot box systems. According to an interview last year of LA Times with Genova Chen, and I quote, Chen dismisses much of the field as predatory. The mobile market, he says, is dominated by games that attempt to get players hooked on endlessly making small purchases. Some have likened such mechanics to gambling or pay to win. Chen then looked into the future and didn't like what he saw. A medium whose most successful games would be dominated by violence, action, and tacky clickbait gameplay. The practice of this kind of economy does not really bring the game high on the grossing rank. In fact, the developer company has decided to remain independent, not really depending on game revenue but instead relies on raising funds from venture capital firms. This also maintains the company's creative freedom, which is often stifled to answer the demands from a major publisher. The game has generally very positive reviews from its player base, with most of the people praising the game and pushing for more games to follow in its footsteps. It is also not only the players that hold the game in high regard. At the end of last year, the game has accumulated a fair share of accolades, including winning Apple's iPhone Game of the Year and being nominated for Mobile Game of the Year at the 2019 Golden Joystick Awards and Best Mobile Game at the Game Awards 2019, being beaten by BTS World and Call of Duty Mobile respectively. Sky certainly looks good, and it lacks exploitative systems to earn money. In the end, whichever route a developer decides to go has pros and cons. The approach of that game company is not the moneymonger that other major titles are, but this type of approach can also be a good marketing strategy because players will most likely than not welcome anything unique in the market. That game company is probably not earning as much as their players think they deserve, but the company has a very good reputation that can only be built up by consistently releasing good quality, non-exploitative games. Personally, since I've known the company because of Journey, I was already expecting a game that is worth the name even before opening Sky. So, what do you think of that game company and altruistic games in general? Where do you think they are headed to in the future? Tell me what you think down in the comment section below, and any comment is appreciated. See you there! Lastly, don't forget to subscribe, and you're awesome if you've done so already. This has been Gwen, and thanks for watching!